Skills.
Go. Yeah. Direct it, make it, make it, make it. Go, go. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Connected. I'm your host, DJ Is. We are now on episode 15. For those of you that are just tuning in or your first time viewing, this is show title Connected, where we like to connect you to various aspects of the game, which we like to call Connected. And that deals with anywhere from music, live sound, engineering, broadcasting, film, songwriting, musician. We got something for you. All right. I believe we got a new email today, so we'll be posting that to the right side of your screen where you can actually email us. I know a lot of times we get folks that want to send content. Can you hear this? Can I send you my resume? So this will be an email for you where you can send stuff. Don't forget to follow us on various social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's is connected. All right. That's our handle. So make sure that's locked in. All right. So also too, last week I mentioned that I was going to be going to New York. And I was going to be able to tell you a little bit of info about that trip this week. So just to bring you up to speed, I'm actually working on a new drum machine for all my beat makers, songwriters, and creators. All right. It's a new drum machine called the ARC with a great company that I've been working with for a while now. It's called Zoom North America. And, you know, I can't wait to showcase and show you guys what I've been working on. So it's a little information on what I was doing in New York. All right. So let's get to what I know y'all waiting for with our grind ops. All right. So before we get into that, make sure you have your note, your pad, your pens, whatever it is you use to jot down information, because this is crucial. All right. So I'm gonna be running fast today. So make sure you jot down and make sure you log all this info down. All right. And stay with me, because throughout the show, you're going to see a link on the bottom side of your screen, the right side of your screen, where you can actually access these jobs and apply for them. All right. So here we go. First grind up of the day is in the field of recording. This is broadcast post audio engineer. Church is looking for audio engineer to record, edit, and mix sermons. Pro Tools experience desired, and this is out of Charlotte. Let me give you a little more details. Candidate will record audio on production shoots and special events. Candidate will assist with sound design projects for other mixers and producers. Pro Tools and post-production audio experience is preferred. Candidate not required to agree with the church's religious beliefs. All right. You just can't be up in that church foul, though. All right. I'm just messing with you guys. But what is definitely mandatory on this one is Pro Tools and post-production experience. All right. So make sure you're up on your game on those two platforms. All right. Next grind out. Grind out number 2. This is in the field of film, Cinematography Editor. Interior design firm seeks individual to create promo videos for online marketing and web series. This is out of Kansas City. All right. Candidate will have creative fit of the project, strong communication skills, and leadership experience preferred. Candidate must have a real display promotional material. All right. So, you know, some of you guys are at that level where you kind of been, especially in the film, where you got enough under your belt where you kind of have a reel of what you can showcase some of the things you've been a part of. All right. And that's very key. And that's extremely helpful in gig in this world. All right. People being able to see your work. Also, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about structure, being on time, being prompt, execution. In this particular great gig, they're looking for leadership, all right, and experience in leadership. So knowing how to articulate what it is you're bringing to the table within your team, and getting your folks to really look at you, a guider, and at the end of the day, everyone executing under your hand. All right. So that's crucial. That's a big one. And you'll have creative freedom, you know, anywhere you get to be, you know, in a job setting, and have creative freedom is always fun. All right. Moving on to grind out number 3. Grind out number 3. This is in the field of radio, audio tech, board operator, part-time tech needed to run live and recorded shows. Potential for a full-time position. Now, it says potential. I'm assuming that if you get in there and kick butt, you got the gig. All right. So this is work for the 4th largest radio broadcasting company in the U.S. Candidate must have experience operating radio broadcasting consoles. You must be available to work holidays and weekends. sacrifice. Candidate must have strong communicational and organizational skills. All right. So another thing too, on experience of operating radio broadcasting consoles, there's so many of them out there, which you probably can do just to get good information and just good knowledge of these different consoles. Just go on to YouTube, and I'm sure you'll be able to find cats working on different broadcasting boards, just so you can kind of just see what the differences and see if they're offering any crucial information. All right. You must be available to work holidays, and there's a lot of people that don't want to work on holidays and give up those days. But if you want to be in it and have an opportunity, that's where you want to be. All right. And you must have strong communicational and organizational skills. I'm starting to see these come up a lot within our grind ops, because a lot of these grind ops, you got to kind of already be there as far as with your organizational and structure and prompt and on time. Those are the fundamentals of what I like to call, that the workplace, fundamentals of the workplace that you kind of got to get intact with and make them a part of your daily regimen. All right, moving on to grind op number 4. Stay with me, folks. This is in the field of film. Producer, director, indie production company needs producer, director to create 3 music videos for 1 artist. And this is in New York. Okay, so let me give you some details on that. Sounds like a fun gig. Candidate will have creative freedom with video concepts, shooting locations, 1 year experience in film required, must be familiar with Adobe and Final Cut Pro. So those 2 platforms you got to be familiar with. I'm sure you got to be fast on them too. All right, 1 year experience in film is required. So for all my film cats out of the Recording Connection who definitely got experience, this can be a great grind job for you. All right, Candidate will have creative freedom with video concepts, shooting locations, and etc. So that's always fun, when you're location scouting and getting to be creative. Like I said, those are always fun environments. All right, so that can be a cool one. Again, that's in New York, New York. All right, moving on. Last grind up of the day, number 5. This is in the field of film. Post-production editor. NBC affiliate seeks post-production producer to assemble clips for daily half-hour news shows. This is in Seattle. All right. Candidate will join the evening team and assist in creating engaging videos for specific stories. Candidate must be able to use social media and digital tools to research, discover, and distribute content. Okay. Candidate must be able to adapt to specific workflow and be able to work independently under strict deadlines. We're looking for an outgoing, creative person that has a sense of humor. Now, that just sounds like a fun environment. Like, you get to show up and kick some jokes and be chill, but also, you got to execute. And what I like about this too is they're saying you got to adapt to, different workflows, specific workflows. So, everybody kind of gets in a routine where they kind of have the way they work, and kind of get a rude awakening when they get into, a different environment and it's different. They can't adjust. So I always talk about being able to maneuver. This is one grind up you definitely want to be able to maneuver in, right? Because it might be a little foreign to you, the pace of the work or the expectation, the deadlines. But this is your opportunity to prove that you can actually maneuver and get things done, all right, and adapt. Biggest thing in this day and age is being able to adapt and work around obstacles and still execute, all right? And you must be able to use social media and digital tools to research, discover, and distribute. So you just got to know all the various platforms that do exist out there. And also, allows you to extract as much info as you can so that when you do get into these settings, you know what's already around the corner. You kind of articulate that information quick and fast. All right. You'll be working with a team player, and you'll be able to assist in creative, engaging videos for specific artists. So what I like, I always say, when we get these film ops, and there's always talking about, engaging videos or, a video that's compelling. Thing is, when you put together editing videos, for those of you who are in this particular road, such as film, it's videos that hit the viewer quick. They're got something cool about them, got a little edge, to keep people's attention there. Attention span is very short these days. So, visuals that can just get you. All right. So, lends itself to, people that are creative in that world. All right. So that is our fifth grind up of the day. My favorite part. We're going to move on to the Q&A, which is the questions that you ask, and I get to, kind of just expand on it. All right. First question. What are some examples of follow through, like thanking someone for a meeting? Follow through is, I like to say follow through, in that sense is obviously, birthed from relationships. All right. And let's say if somebody plugs you with a job opportunity or just an opportunity within itself, you always want to make sure, for one, you deliver on that, you show up and you do what you're supposed to do. And you turn around after that and say, man, really appreciate that. I really appreciate you hooking me up. All right. That's one follow through. Another follow through is, I've been talking about resumes for a while, and I believe we posted a couple of times a great blueprint and layout for a resume. And we talked about a letterhead. And some said, well, what's the letterhead after the resume? Letterhead is pretty much you telling the employer why you feel you're fit for the job and why they should hire you. That's follow-up, showcasing how hungry you are, showcasing your appetite, showcasing that, you're willing to work for it. All right. That's a good example of follow-through. All right. Next question. What are some what's the value of a mentor? Who are your mentors? What's the value? I like to think of a mentor as somebody who's traveled the path already. Somebody that can come back and share this information. And it's privileged information, right? And most people have to pay for privileged information. But I like to think of as a mentor as one that comes back to, lend a hand and show the way, as someone once did for me. I didn't get here alone, and it takes a team. And it's our job as mentors and people that are blessed to come back and whether it's inspiring, whether it's shedding light on aspirations, it's just something that we all should want to do. All right, because I guarantee you, no one makes it alone. Someone once did it for us. So that's how I like to think of mentoring. Who are your mentors? I've had a lot. I've been in great institutions, great music institutions. I grew up with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who, have a star at the Hall of Fame, and as producers, and coming up under them, learning how to make records, learning what true songwriting is. It's not just about a beat. It's not just about melody. It's about all the key ingredients to making a great song. So I like to think of them as my mentor, John McClain, a great friend of mine who started Interscope Records, who came from A&M Records, has long lineage years in the game. I have a lot of mentors that have shared information, shed light on this path that I've been on, and this journey that have helped me maneuver through this crazy business. So have quite a few. Next question. How did you connect with Usher? That's a good question. So I actually connected with him three. We happened to be working at the same studio, and he was working on his album at the time. It wasn't called Confessions yet, but that's the album that it ended up becoming. And we were actually working in the studio right next to it with Janet Jackson. And he was looking for music, and he kind of heard our room kind of just banging on the other end, and we kind of just came in and played some music, and man, the rest was history. 20 million albums later, but that's how I connected with him. And then wanted me to come out and bring my turntables and DJ with him. And at that time, this is like 2005, I couldn't really commit to leaving the studio and being gone for months at a time. It was the 90s when I finally came on board to rock with him as his DJ. So that's the story on Ush. Next question, what's more realistic? Taking an entry-level position, if offered, and working your way up, or holding out for your dream job? Man, I'm going to say this. What can grab onto it, because when you do get your dream job, you want to be able to execute and over-deliver. All right? And that only comes with experience. That comes with paying your dues. And in this game, you want to pay your dues. because you don't want to get into your dream job or a great opportunity and fail, and the great thing is along this course, along this journey, you're going to fail over and over and over again, but it's all about learning. I'm still learning, and what has gotten me in the position to take all the experience, all the mess ups, all the learning, and actually get into a position where I can actually over deliver and execute. But all that comes with trial and error. So you don't ever skip out on an entry level thing. Take it and be great at it. So when your dream job comes up, we can do the exact same thing with flying colors. All right. So that's my advice on that one. How long should I expect to pay my dues? Who knows? That's okay. In different environments, some experience doesn't translate in other businesses. And you got to start from the bottom. So you never really know. All you know is what you hope to look back on is a great body of work, a great resume. All right. So that's all you can do. Stay working hard. Stay making sacrifices. You mentioned making mistakes. Is the University of Hard Knocks I keep hearing about? Yes, that is the University of Hard Knocks, and that's the university you want to graduate from. All right, because it just breeds a different character, and it breeds a character that is going to be able to sustain you through the letdowns, through the failures, through people not keeping their word. It's going to carry you through all those things. All right. Well, guys, that is our Q&A for the day. Don't forget, every Monday you can catch us here at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll be here with you. All right. I'm the host, DJ Is. Tuning in again. Shout out to my Recording Connection fam, Brian, Howie, Mike. Love y'all, and look forward to seeing you guys here next week. All right. Stay tuned. Peace.
As I was told. I'll play it in series.